guys, I got the exhaust all fabbed up, so I'm going to show you what it looks like all installed on the car, let you hear what it sounds like. I think the exhaust turned out really good, and I personally like the way the stock exhaust sounds with headers and high-flow cats. So that's an 08 Gallardo Spider. Pretty simple. It had a clutch put in at another shop, and they did not have the proper software to set the computer up or recalibrate it for the new clutch. We see this fairly common. So if you're gonna get a clutch put in one of these cars, make sure that the shop has the proper diagnostic equipment to recalibrate the new clutch. If not, it will damage the new clutch almost immediately. What it is basically it monitors how much clutch thickness is left. It's called like the point of contact, or there's different terminology, but basically just how far the clutch actuator moves out to engage or disengage the clutch. So as the clutch wears out, it gets thinner. So when you put a new clutch in, the stack height is thicker. If it keeps driving it into the flywheel at the older, thinner spec, it will damage the new clutch. It's not hard, you just have to have the proper equipment for it, and it is very expensive. So a shop that doesn't frequently work on exotic cars probably is not going to have the equipment, because it wouldn't be cost effective for them to buy that. I don't think it is damaged. It's kind of hard to tell. It definitely doesn't act like a new clutch is supposed to. Hopefully when he gets some miles on it, it will clear up. So we got that all set up for him, and that's pretty much it. So that's a fast, easy one.
Hey guys, this is Tara and Britton from Forza Tuning and Performance, and we are going to go through some of the questions you guys submitted on our social media platforms. I'm just going to read a couple off, then Britton's going to answer them for you. So the first question is from Expect No Love. The exhaust sounds good, and the video probably doesn't do it justice. I elected to go with the catless exhaust with my package. I'm curious to hear how that sounds. Do you have anything with the catless setup that you could put in a video?
See, I'm assuming he's talking about like a Hellcat. I really don't know where the question.
I think he's referring to our last video.
Okay. The catless is just going to be a little bit louder, a little bit more aggressive. It's going to sound very, very similar. The core exhaust system that we use are our long tube headers, high flow cats, and then we keep the stock cat back. So we keep the stock resonators and stock mufflers. So the cars that you hear on the video, that's what those are comprised of. Some of them that are race application only occasionally do run no cats if they're just going to race the car. So on the videos, they probably all sound really almost the same. So you'd have to kind of hear it in person. So if you're going to delete the cats, as long as you're keeping the resonators and the stock mufflers, you're just going to have a little bit more an aggressive exhaust note.
Next question is from Vader_Durango_RT. If I do a mid-muffler delete on my Durango, will it do anything for power?
No. So what everybody refers to as a mid-muffler is not actually a mid-muffler, it's a resonator. And the reason that they put that in there is to cut down on cabin drone. So if you're going down the expressway, part throttle, the kind of deep exhaust note, the annoying drone that you get inside the car, that's what that is there to prevent. So if you look at the way it's constructed, it's a very straight through design. So if you cut the pipes off both sides, you can see straight through it. So it's just to eliminate exhaust reverberations. The muffler is actually responsible for making it quieter. Now the exhaust system on a stock Challenger, Charger, Hellcat is very, it's designed really well. So if you change anything from the cat back, it doesn't add any power at all. So that's why all the packages we have, until you're about, around over 1200 horsepower, you're perfectly fine with keeping the stock cat back. So no, if you cut the resonators off, you're not going to add any power. What you're going to do is get cabin drone, which could be annoying, and if you add headers or stuff to it later, it's going to get really obnoxiously loud. So a lot of the cars that come in where people have done this, we have to put resonators back in the car because they can't stand it. It gets real raspy. So I would not recommend doing that at all under any circumstance.
All right, the next question is from Knife Maker Kinetic. Can you recommend a cam for a Trackhawk, good or bad to do?
So the cam, generally on a Hellcat platform, I don't typically advise doing a cam under most circumstances. All the cams that we have here are our own custom grinds. There's other companies out there that have good cams for the Hellcat platform. It's just the Hellcat platform picks up power relatively easy. So there's a lot more cost-effective ways where you can add power to the platform without doing the cam. The cam is a pretty labor-intensive job. It requires pulling the engine apart, pulling the cylinder heads off to access the lifters, and you're probably going to gain, I'm going to say, just very general terms, 30 to 50 horsepower gain. A lot's going to depend on how aggressive the cam is and numerous other things, but if you're just trying to get a general ballpark range. So if you look at the labor that's involved in that, whether you're doing it yourself or paying a shop to do it, along with the gaskets and stuff like that, you're going to run into a decent amount of money for not a whole lot of horsepower gain. You'd be better off doing like, kind of the protocol of our normal packages. You're going to get a lot more power, a lot cheaper. If you're going to say you're wanting to put a bottom end in the engine, so the engine's already going to be out and you're already going to be taking it apart, or you're doing cylinder heads or something like that where it's not just the labor for the cam, then it becomes a little bit different scenario, obviously. And I think going with the cam if the engine's apart would be beneficial, but just to strictly do the cam on its own, probably would not recommend doing that.
The next question is Rift from our Rift company that we use.
Oh, God.
If I apply, will I be able to ride the one-wheeled skateboard around the shop?
Danny, you can ride the skateboard around the shop. You don't need to apply, so you're welcome anytime.
Yeah. All right, the next question is from Mike Hayes. I wonder if anyone has ever twin-turboed a Testarossa. So I guess, do you know of anyone?
Not offhand. I'm sure somebody has probably done it. I don't know of anybody. It would be there'd be a lot involved in that because the platform is really not suitable to support a high level of power as it is. It'd be full engine management and stuff like that. So, of course it could be done. You could do it on any car. Would I recommend it? Probably not.
All right, the next question is from Mad Hemi 426. Do you have plans on doing any performance packages for the 392 platform?
We have stuff that yes, technically we can do. We don't support anything except just the Hellcat platform, mainly because our backlog is too long. It's hard for us to get to even just the Hellcat stuff without people having to wait too long.
Yeah.
So, aside from that, the regular 5.7 and 6.4 platforms, you're gonna, in my opinion, it's kind of expensive for not a whole lot of gain. If you do all the bolt-ons on it and tuning and headers and all that stuff, you're gonna probably gain 30, 40 horsepower, and you're gonna have a decent amount of money tied up in doing all that. So I don't really think it's
On what platform?
on any like the 5.7 or 6.4s.
No.
Yeah, so it's I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's a lot of money to spend for what you're going to actually gain personally. But some people do it. There's other good shops out there that modify those platforms. Just we don't have the manpower to get to it. So.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yep, that's all the questions that we did for now. So.
Okay. Like I said, if there's anything you'll have questions on, as always, just leave them in the comments. The media department checks all the different platforms. They kind of organize it for us. So if there's something that you specifically want to know, we have talked about doing like a live thing where basically we pick a time and let you all know, and we go on live, and then anybody that wants to sign in or log in or whatnot can ask whatever they want, and be happy to try to answer them. I don't know all the answers, but I can give my best shot at trying to help out whoever needs help. So I think it wraps it up.
All right, thanks guys.
See you guys later.